Hey everybody, welcome back to your channel. This is your buddy Pete, and I am eating some crow today. Let's talk about it. So if you watched my last video, which I'm sure you did, because you're coming back to watch this one, I really appreciate everybody that comes and watches my videos. It makes a big difference. Helps keep you going, as you're doing something a little bit entertaining and informative. That's what I'm trying to do with some of these videos, is make them entertaining. I'm not the funniest person in the world. I have more of a dry sense of humor, like a Brit in that aspect. Monty Python, big hero. So I talked about what I was wearing in my last video, jacket, pants, boots, gloves, so forth and so on. I said I wasn't going to get a new helmet. Well, if you're looking at that, you probably kind of guess what this is about, and you probably saw the thumbnail too, and that's why you're clicking on it. But I decided to get a new helmet. I broke down and I bought this Scorpion. This is the AT-960 helmet, which is pretty light. It's the XEXO version. It also has the, it's called topographical. It has the continents on it on both sides, like it says North and South America over here. It's got Africa, a little bit of Asia. How much can you do? It's a helmet. It's not going to fit everything on there. So, but I ended up doing the fluorescent yellow to, they have 4 different colors, and I almost went with the brown one because it kind of matches my stuff, or the black and gray because that matches the bike. But I was like, everything on my bike is pretty dark. And not that I ride a lot at night, but we are going to be riding off-road, and there's, going to be areas where there's probably a lot of dust, especially up on the Dalton Highway. And I figured, it might be a good idea to have something a little bit more visible on the old noggin, and something that's going to protect my noggin. So, why did I buy this one? That right there is why I bought it, is because it is a nice modular helmet. It doesn't weigh a ton, and it feels pretty good. This is the large. So if you, I primarily wear showy helmets. So if you watch any of my videos, you know that primarily I wear an RF 1200. Probably eventually that's going to be an RF 1400 soon, because my 1200 is really old. The 1400 meets new standards, which this helmet does too. This meets the new European standards, like 0.26, I think, or something like that. I'll put it up here, what the code is. But what that is, it means that, as you're noticing, like this year, for any helmet to be sold over in Europe, there's new standards. And those standards are much higher than what we have here in the States as a DOT standard. Most helmets that have a DOT sticker on it have never been drop tested in their lives. Over at the European standard, these things have to be dropped, I think it's 4 times, and from different speeds and different angles, to make sure that the helmet will protect the rider in the event of a crash, because that's what you got it on for, is the crash. And it also has this awesome bill on it, or peak as it's known, which is real easy to take off. It has right there, it has these super simple things that you just twist, pops it on and off. It does have the plates that go over to keep the visor on, and other than that, it's real light. But what is also going back to the showy thing, because I wear a large and a showy, and it fits me like a glove. It's great. This is very comparable. I've had it on for a little while. Now we're going to go out on, after this part, we're going to get on the bike. I'll give you my initial feelings of what it feels like on the bike and everything like that. So, make sure you keep watching. And then we'll go from there. But I have to wait on a couple things, because I got to put my camera on there somewhere, right? And I got to mount my Senna, because I didn't get the internal one that's made by Uclear. They have a Bluetooth that is made by Uclear, which I've used Uclear in the past. It's okay, but my Senna I want primarily too, because I have the 10C Pro, and so when I'm talking to my buddy, I can do a dual vlog, so I can record the voices. So that works for me, because that's what I do as a producer of a YouTube channel, is you're always looking for those creative ways to add more things into your video. So that's why I use a 10C Pro. But let's get on the bike and let's check out this helmet, shall we?
All right, let's see how this thing is doing. So, had it on a little bit now, and it's not too bad. It's very comfortable. A little heavy. The bill is flipping and flopping around a bit. So on the freeway, I will probably have that off, but when I'm on the back roads, I'll probably have it on. Comfort wise, it's been pretty good. It's a little tight in the chin. Yeah, it's brand new, so that'll loosen up a bit. The fit's actually pretty good. So let's get some air. I've moved the windscreen up and down a bit to see, how that's going to react. Um, and that's not bad. Actually, in the midsection, it actually makes the beak, the beak bill thing flop around a little bit more. At about 70-ish. But so far, it's pretty cool. But so you can see I got the chin mount, and I wired it all in, and I will do a little rundown how I wired all this in, because I do have a hardwired mic in here. I also got my Senna hooked up so I can talk, and that's been working pretty good so far. Hopefully I just didn't rip that up, whatever it was. And yeah, so let's keep riding. We'll do a summary here when I get back to the house.
All right, so we're back here at the house and in the palatial studios again, and we're talking about the comfort of the Scorpion AT-960, which I've got about I would say about 4 or 5 hours wearing the helmet. Very, very comfortable. I was pretty shocked that it was as comfortable as it was. Now, the wind, it does buffet a lot, but you gotta remember too, I also have the GoPro on the front, Senna on the side, so that does add a little bit of grab, and I had the bill on, and that's one of the things when I'm riding on the freeway, I'm going to take the peak or the bill, whatever you want to call it, off, because it just grabs the wind, which you saw in that video a second ago. So that'll definitely be off, but I will carry it with me because it is convenient to have something to keep the sun out of your eyes. One of the other things I think was great is that it has the drop down shield, which I forgot to mention earlier. And that was really good. So I did put the chin mount on, which you're thinking, oh, that's going to block your little vent thing, which when the camera's on, I can't touch this, but on the inside of the helmet, which I'll show you a picture of, there is an internal slide. So you can put your thumb in there and slide it up and down if you want to open or close the vent to increase that ventilation or decrease it. Now I have my microphones in here. On my GoPro, I do run a wired mic, and so what I did is I got the microphone about where I wanted it. I played around with it a bit because that's one of the things you guys are going to have to do is test out where it's going to fit best for you to get the best quality. And then I took some shrink wrap and I shrink wrapped the rest of the wires together, put some Velcro on it, and stuck it on the outside of the helmet. I thought about doing it underneath here. The problem is I kept grabbing it with my hand, so I just kind of moved it. And so that way I can get to this, and then it takes away the pinch point for the cord. And it runs really nice in there, so that is pretty stellar, and it works good as you've seen in the video already. Cost for $300, you can't beat this helmet. It is, I mean, it's light, it's nice, it's been drop tested, it looks snazzy, and what else can you want from a helmet? That's it. That's what you want from a helmet. Something that you feel safe in. It's going to keep the noise out. It's comfortable to wear on a long drive riding. So yeah, if you're in the market and you're new to the ADV world and you want to pop a huge fortune on a new helmet, take a look at this Scorpion. I'm actually really impressed with it. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you would, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, of course, put them down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. As always, ride safe, ride often, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.